It all began on a gray, humid afternoon inside the bustling courtroom of Judge Judy Shaindlin, where the walls seemed to hum with tension and judgment. The air carried that familiar courtroom electricity, part fear, part curiosity, part spectacle. Judge Judy sat on the bench, her sharp eyes piercing through the silence, ready to unravel another human mess. On one side stood Stephanie Marshall, a mother who looked both defensive and weary, clutching papers and excuses. Across from her stood the defendant, a calm but visibly frustrated woman named Ms. Alves, the kind of woman who didn't seek trouble but somehow always found herself cleaning up after someone else's chaos. Judge Judy leaned forward, her voice firm, every word landing like a gavel strike. "What's your name?" she asked. "Stephanie Marshall," the woman replied nervously. "Are these two young ladies your daughters or stepdaughters?" "My daughters," Stephanie said. Judge Judy nodded slightly, pen tapping against the bench. "Did both of these girls go to live with the defendant?" "Yes," came the quiet answer. "When and why?" Stephanie hesitated, shifting her weight. "It was April, maybe late March. I was in between places." "In between places?" Judy repeated, eyebrows arching like a challenge. "What does that mean?" Stephanie looked down, fidgeting with her hands. "I was moving." "For how long?" Judge Judy pressed. "A few months." "You have any other children you had to send away while you were in between places?" "No, just these two." "Yes." Judy's tone hardened, the courtroom silent except for her measured questions. "Did you know the defendant before you sent your daughters to live with her?" "No," Stephanie admitted. "My daughter went to school with her daughter." "So you let your two teenage girls live with a woman you had never met?" "Yes." Judge Judy's disbelief was sharp and unfiltered. "You neither met her nor knew her, but you agreed to let your daughters move into her house?" "Did you at least speak to her on the phone?" "In person," Stephanie said quickly. "You spoke to her on the phone in person?" Judy repeated sarcastically, her tone slicing through the confusion. "I asked if you ever met her." Stephanie finally confessed. "I met her the day they went to live with her." "Not before?" "No," Judy exhaled sharply. "When you went there that day, what arrangements did you make to support your daughters?" "None. She asked for none." The judge paused, her expression tightening. "So this woman took in your daughters for 5 months and you didn't give her a single cent?" Stephanie's voice lowered. "Myself, none." "She had them on a county case." "0, Judy declared flatly. "You gave her 0. And you're saying she opened a welfare case for them?" "Yes," Judge Judy turned to the defendant. "Did you ever open a welfare case for these girls?" Ms. Alves answered clearly. "No, Your Honor. I went down there and I have a printout of what I received. $204 in food stamps." "That's it." Judy's pen stopped moving. "Do you have proof she received more than $204? She asked Stephanie. "No, but yes or no?" "No," Judy gave a curt nod. "So for 5 months, this woman took care of your 2 teenage daughters, received $204 in food stamps, and you didn't give her anything. And now you're suing her?" The courtroom seemed to shift. Even the air felt heavier. Stephanie's stepmother, a stern-looking woman with a hint of outrage, stepped forward. "I'm the stepmother," she said. "I had to come pick up her daughter when this lady kicked her out. In the rain, when she was pregnant." "Who cares?" Judge Judy fired back instantly. "I did," the stepmother said firmly. "That's why I came and picked her up." "So you're suing on behalf of these 2 girls?" Judy asked. "I have her now," the stepmother replied proudly. "And we're suing because she threw her out and evicted her wrongly." Judy's face twisted in disbelief. "Oh, get over it." "And she took her money," the woman tried to continue. "Get over it!" Judy barked again, voice echoing through the courtroom. "She was pregnant," the stepmother protested. "She had the baby 4 days later." "That's a long labor?" Judy quipped dryly, earning a few muffled laughs from the gallery. "And if she got pregnant, look to her mother. Her mother." Judy straightened up, her voice rising in righteous fury. "This is a perfect example of no good deed going unpunished. This woman takes in your 2 daughters, strangers, feeds them, clothes them, shelters them, gets almost nothing in return, and you come in here to sue her? Are you out of your mind?" The courtroom was dead quiet. The stepmother tried to speak again, insisting that Ms. Alves had been getting county aid for the girls. "Prove it," Judy snapped. "Show me the amount." "But it doesn't show the amount. Then it doesn't show me anything." Judge Judy cut her off with finality. "Your Honor, Ms. Alves interjected softly. I have a printout showing exactly what I collected. Judy held up a hand. I already heard you. She has no proof of anything inconsistent with your testimony, and that was the end. Judy's patience had officially run out. She looked at Bird, her longtime bailiff, who stood silently by the bench. Do I have to spend another second on this case? She asked. Bird smirked. Not really. Good, Judy said with a sigh of finality. Goodbye. Her gavel hit the bench with authority. Parties are excused, Bird announced. You may step out. The courtroom emptied slowly, leaving behind that familiar echo of justice, swift, unapologetic, and brutally honest. Outside the courtroom, Stephanie Marshall shuffled papers and muttered under her breath, still not fully grasping how her case had collapsed so quickly. Her stepmother fussed beside her, whispering about how unfair it was. The two teenage girls stood quietly, eyes darting between their mother and the exit, their faces painted with embarrassment and confusion. Across the hall, Ms. Alves walked calmly with quiet dignity, holding her folder close to her chest. The same woman who had opened her home to two girls she barely knew and received nothing but a lawsuit in return. This wasn't just another petty small claims case. It was a snapshot of real life, of how compassion can sometimes backfire, of how people can twist kindness into obligation. Judge Judy had seen it 1,000 times. A mother too careless to care, a good Samaritan punished for trying to help, and a young girl already tangled in the same cycles that trapped her parents. As the doors closed behind them, Judge Judy's words lingered like the last echo of a storm. No good deed goes unpunished. It wasn't just a verdict. It was a lesson, a reminder that in the harsh light of the courtroom, and perhaps in life itself, intentions matter less than responsibility. Stephanie Marshall had lost her case, but more importantly, she had lost face. Ms. Alves walked away not as a loser or a winner, but as a survivor of someone else's chaos. The kind of woman who learned the hard way that doing the right thing doesn't always mean being thanked for it. In the end, the courtroom lights dimmed, the cameras turned off, and another day in Judge Judy's world came to a close. But the story lingered, raw, human, and painfully familiar. Because behind every case, behind every raised voice and slammed gavel, there's always a truth that cuts deeper than any judgment. Sometimes the real crime isn't what's done, but what's expected of the ones who try to help. And that's the kind of story Judge Judy never forgets.